This is Richard back at you guys. Friday morning, work, work, work. No play yet. Not yet, it's not 5 o'clock. But we got a bunch of units built this week. We got a 4L80E, all billet shafts built up this week. Been a really busy week. We got another 400 built here, all billet shafts, dump valves, stuff like that, really nice units. We also got our gear vendor unit in. Cody and Trent is getting it all spaced up and shimmed up to butt up to the back of the 400. Gear vendors are really nice units, guys. We've put a few on motorhomes. We've put one on a twin turbo Ford F-150 pickup. Really nice unit. So if you ever need to add an overdrive, get a hold of Gear Vendor. These guys have some really nice equipment. But anyway, we got Robert's 2011 Chevy Silverado in the house, 2500 6.0 6L90. Got a lot of miles on it, 206,000. Teresa, I'm not for sure exactly what was going on with this. Can you give me a little info on this one here?
I believe that
I've been real busy, guys, so I'm just now kind of getting into this one here.
when he said he really wasn't having a lot of problems. He does like 93 octane is what he runs in this constantly. He does have a.
This is the one he's got it tuned up, got headers and stuff on it, isn't it? I
Yes.
think. Okay, that's what he's doing. So we're going to be beefing this one up a little bit. I know we got a B&I heavy-duty billet backing converter here all ready to go. Once we get our bell housing and all put together, we'll size our bushing, make sure everything fits the converter hub and the converter fits the pump and everything like that. So that's how we do that. But 206,066 miles on it, guys. That's pretty good for this type of unit. Must service it and take care of it. So I don't know if he's a one owner or he bought it or anything like that neither. So, but anyway, we got all of our parts here to go through it. We got our complete gasket set, seal kit. We got all of our bonded pistons. We got a complete pump rebuild kit. We got our Transgo TCC valves in the valve body. We got our shift kit for it, filter, bushing kit. We got all of our clutches ready to set in here. We'll clean up before we get them soaked up really good. So it's going to be a really nice unit when we get it done. I don't know if I haven't had the pan off yet to know if there's metal in the pan or anything. The guys might have, but I physically don't. So, but it is just a stock unit. And that's what I like to get into, something somebody's not been into before. So we have a JMBX or JMBY, excuse me. That's how you identify this torque converter if you ever need one. Kind of varnished up. You can see this fluid here compared to some pretty nice red fluid, what it looks like. Now we'll get over here on the 6L90 and the 6L80s. They're kind of hard to identify. If you get over here on this one here, it has this big lug on the side over here. A 6L80, it'll just be round. It won't have this piece. So that's kind of how you can identify them a little bit. Now this adapter housing for the transfer case has long bolts that go all the way around it, this long. On these, they go inside these holes right here, like that. And then there's some short ones on the bottom and there's some short ones on the side like this. Pretty simple. See if I got them all. You never know nowadays. They might have snuck one in on me. And they did. And I don't have my glasses on. There you go, guys. Another long bolt. Now, if you have a two-wheel drive one of these here, you will not have a seal right here. Being that this is a four-wheel drive unit, it does not have to have any oil in the housing right here. A two-wheel drive unit, they use the oil coming out of here to lubricate the tail housing bushing on the drive shaft. And then we have our standard lockup O-ring here. It's like your 4L60Es late versions. Really brittle. I mean, it's flat. It's not even round anymore. You can see how flat that is right here. Basically, setting low in the groove could lose lockup, cause this type of fluid color, just because you have that bad O-ring right there even, so. Now also the pan is a little bit longer On the 6L90s over the 6L80s in the back here.
That is not smell
That's pretty. I haven't had the pan off. Trenton might have had it off. But look at that. Don't look bad, but it don't smell
good.
good.
It does not smell good.
It's got a really like high temperature type smell to it, varnish type smell.
You gotta turn this fan on behind us.
It's not there no more. I moved it somewhere. Sorry. Now our filter, you can still see some of the color in the filtering part down in here in the filter. Not totally stopped up.
Dang, that's
I always have problems getting this thing out of there. I don't know why I do every time. There's nothing hard to get out of there. You just got to get it just right. But this here is our wiring harness for our park reverse neutral safety switch right here. When you move the shifter, this piece here moves in and out. So I'm going to move the shifter. That tells the computer what gear you're in, park, reverse, neutral, drive. And then of course your manual valve is right below it, down in here. Oops, excuse me, gotta get my special little socket here. I don't like that black adapter right there. I have problems getting my impact off of it. Pull that up out of there. This has to lock into this little plastic piece right here. That way it slides in and out with it. And then of course your manual valve has to lock into the bottom of it right here. Or right through here. See that pin? So now I already took loose one of the valve body bolts that holds it on here. They're a special type of bolt. It says number 10 on the package. Like a 10 Torx. And then we're going to unlock this switch right here and we're going to pull it up. And this unlocks your connector right there. And then I like to take and just kind of tap on it, loosen it up a little bit. And then just grab a small pair of pliers and you can just grab it real gently and kind of move it and pull it right out. Just like that. Now they do have 3 seals on here. They have 2 round ones. And then they have a square cut style. So they dang sure don't want it to leak. Any leak's bad for a tranny, that's for sure. Then we'll get our rest of our valve body bolts off here. Had all of them 3? Yep. You can see here this they take a special socket. And we have our seals here that seal the valve body to the case. Your overhaul kit will come with new ones. Anytime you do an R&R in a valve body, you need to replace this stuff because the seals start leaking right here around this flattened edge where it sets on the pump stator part of the body. Right here, they start blowing out through here if you ever try to put a used one back on there. Same way with this setup here. We've had them come in with these seals that just blown plumb out the sides. So this seal here will come in your overhaul kit too. Wipe my gloves off a little bit and grab a new one. But your kit will come with all of them. So always replace them. Now these are going to be number 7s, or excuse me, number 8s right here that hold the computer and solenoid pack to the valve body, and the rest of them are going to be 10s and 7s. These are the 7s. And we found our 10, guys. There it is. We found our 10. Actually, nobody found it in the videos on my fan page. We set our 10 millimeter socket down in all these parts on the table, and we asked our fans to find it. Nobody could find it. So we're posting a picture today of where it's at on the table. You can see it, you just got to zoom in and find it, but it is physically there. So we kind of give you guys a challenge on our fan book page. Like I said, we have 7s here, we have 10s here, and then we have 2 8s here on the side. Anytime we put one of these back on the valve body, we'll put these 2 in, pull it up almost flush, completely flush, but not tight. That way we know it's up this way, and then we'll torque it down this way, and then we'll tighten these 2 last. So, flip it over and unplug our input and output speed sensor. We have our input speed sensor right here, and we have our output speed sensor here. They are kind of hidden a little bit, where some of them are usually on the outsides of the transmission, where these are on the inside, and of course it kind of takes time to replace them, where on some of them you can just pop them in and out on the outside. So, but your overhaul kit will also come with a screen filter here. Your Transgo kit will come with a rebuild seal kit for this, and your little seals here for your top of your micro switches here. So these are rebuildable as long as you don't have any type of codes or anything in them. Being that this thing's got this kind of mileage on it, it's best for us just to replace this whole piece, excuse me, and get rid of it. That way we don't have any issues with it. It's got too many miles on it. So, oops, excuse me, I put all my sockets down here. Almost lost my 7 and my 8 and my 10. Of course, we have a 10 here. Here we have, I get mixed up sometimes, 7s. When you do as many different trannies as I do, guys, let me tell you, it's easy to get bolts mixed up, and I mean, I throw them everywhere. But they all fall back in line for some reason. I think they could have put a few more bolts in this valve body somewhere. I mean, it's crazy how many bolts they put in valve bodies sometimes. We got all of our bolts out on both sides. We're gotta remember exactly which side the check balls are in, because I don't want to throw them out. I think it's this way here. It's hard to remember. Look at that, I saved the day. Didn't spill them. See if they're all still in there.
That stinks.
It does have a good smell to it, doesn't it? Now you can see here we have our check balls here. Your overhaul kit would come with instructions on where all your check balls go. That's one thing I do like about TranStar. These guys, they give you all the information, your ply information, your gasket information, your check ball locations, what your solenoids do, your clutch lineups, all that type of stuff. So pretty neat when you get their kits, because they do try to help you out a bunch if you're trying to do it at home or anything like that. So, but all of our check balls are in their locations. Now we'll be putting some pieces in here, Transgo parts and stuff in the valve body. There's some places here, like on this plate, you want to do some identification. this little thing right here. Well, the Transgo kit's going to ask you if it has that. So you want to look for that. Also, we're going to be putting some TCC valves in here. Correct a lot of stuff there. It's amazing, isn't it, guys, what these things look like and how these engineers design this stuff. We all think they're crazy, but they must be. This still amazes me today on how a tranny pushes a car down the road. Now we do have a bunch of circuitries right through here and stuff. I'm not going to blow through. I don't want to get trees all messed up because it is Friday. But we have our low reverse clutch, our 2.6 clutch in this area through here. We have our 1, 2, 3, 4 clutch, our 4, 5, 6 clutch, our we have a 4, 5, 6 clutch. That's what all these holes do here when you blow through here. You have your lube circuit, stuff like that. I'll try to find something you can see move. Let's see here real quick. Oops. That's our lube circuit. See how it leaks? That tells me it's lube. And then you get over here, you can hear that. Then you're going to come over here, you hear that. You're going to come over here, and you can see that. So, I'm not going to blow in here. A lot of fluid will come out of there and get Miss Teresa dirty. And I don't think Friday is a good day to do that, guys. Do you, Teresa?
No.
Not a good idea?
Not a good idea.
Okay. See if we can get these bolts out here. Get this extension off here. These trannies are an amazing tranny. They really are. They work really good. I like the way they shift, everything about them. But you can start to see here the front seal starting to leak oil out right through here. You see how it's wet? Starting to get mud and or grease build up on it, stuff like that. That's from leaking. Also see it looks like the rear main seal's even starting to leak on this pretty good. You can see it slinging on the valve housing there a little bit. Now, on these front seals right here, they got a snap ring that holds them in. Let's see if I can get that out of there. Just like that. Normally you can just take something really easy and pop them out too. I'll have to try it from the other direction, but normally they'll just pop right out with that. You can put them in by hand. That's how easy they go in. That's why they need that snap ring there to hold them in. Of course, we have a big O-ring right here that seals the bell housing to the case. I'm going to go ahead and do some air checking here. Can I, Teresa? Do you mind? Let me pull some of this stuff out of here real quick. No, you'll be good. Now, since we have our sealing rings here, you can see here our ply holes through here for this drum. We'll set this drum on there. Just like that. Now I'm going to guess at the holes real quick because I don't have my chart here to show me what it's going to do. There we go. You can watch here the 1, 2, 3, 4 clutch. See that clutch there moving? And since when I blow air in it and I let go of the trigger on my air gun, it stays applied. That tells me that there's no crack. See that? That's a tight sealed drum right there, guys. Look at that. That's common for a slow leak down like that. But if it's cracked, it'd just fall to the bottom. There would be no slowness about it. Now you see here, our three, let me kind of hold it a little tighter. See how that holds really nice too, falls down to the bottom slowly. Now if you want to check your clearance, now I'll try to do this real quick because the guy was asking me, how do you check clearances and stuff like that on drums? I don't have nothing magnet to stick this to, but I'm going to give you an idea how we would do something like this. I'll try to set this up real quick and give you an idea. I didn't mean to pull this out. So I'm just going to kind of make a jicky setup real quick. Something to give me a number. And I'll try to set it over here. Ah, come on. Cooperate. There we go. That'll work. Okay. Now, it's not going to set flat because I'm going to be holding it. But I'm going to put that dial caliper. Ah, come on. I'm going to work it, guys. I'm going to make it work. Okay.
You still got to hold that.
Maybe not. Kind of a jicky way I did it. But anyway, we got our dial caliper setting on our clutch pack here, and you can see it set at 0. Well, I'm going to air check it, and I'm going to see where that goes. See? Got it come back down, relax. It's not setting perfect because it's moving around over there on the table, see? Try to get it kind of close, and I'm going to air check it again. See, it went to 50. Let that come back down, slowly relaxing. If you could set that at 0 every time and hit it, and it'd go 50-50, that tells you how much clearance you have in that clutch pack. You do all of them that way. But you have a better base on this when you're doing it, so pretty simple. When we go do our end clearance too on our transmission, once we get done setting up, on the top we'll set our dial caliper down in the bell housing, and then we'll check our clearance too on our end clearance like that, do it the same way. So, pretty simple. We'll get this stator off here real quick. Oops. Got them all loose there. Now this stator is doweled to the pump bell housing, but it will move side to side. See, like that. So you have to use an alignment tool that we have right here to physically set down in here like this. Get it opened up. Make sure I'm setting it the right direction. Come on. There we go. We'll get our bolts in there and get this in the center like that. We'll tighten this down like that, and then we'll torque our bolts on our stator to our bell housing, and then we can pull our alignment tool off. Pretty simple. Now we want this to be good for our sake and the customer's sake. We don't want to see any wear in here at all. And this looks really, really nice. Really nice. I mean, there's nothing there but shadow. So that looks good. Get over in here. And you can see where our paddles are starting to scrape aluminum just a little bit though. See that right there? A little bit of trash starting to come through the tranny. See it here. Of course, we have our pump rotor, pump guide. Looks like it was really good. Spaced right in the converter with spaced back into the tranny right. It's almost all the way 3/4 of the way through. Looks really good. We have our pump slide spring. We have our pump slide. Ugh. Now there's going to be a seal here and a Teflon ring in here. Your overhaul kit will come with it, and your pump rebuild kit will come with it too. myself this razor blade here. Come on. There you go. You can see it's a rubber O-ring, and this is Teflon style. Okay. And we have our pin that keeps our slide straight. You want to look for any type of wear on this here. We buy them 30 at a time in a bag over there. Spring will come off, pop it on the new one. Now you can see here the pump body physically has a lot of wear. You can see a groove here, here. I mean, it's all the way around. I can feel it through my gloves. So what we'll do with this one, we'll go ahead and put a new complete pump body and stator in it. We won't try to put that stator on a new bell housing. We'll just do it as a new kit. That way everything's new there, and then we'll just have to have this machine later on in life when I get 100 of them and find somebody good enough around here to do it. So that's where we're at with that part. Let me set this over here. We have our third, fifth, and reverse clutch here. Now, these drums right here, guys, you got to be careful where these snap rings are. I took it out really fast. If you notice, there's a snap ring groove right here, and there's not one here, and it starts back again here. So this snap ring opening has to be just like that when you put it in there. You cannot put that snap ring over that. If you do, this is what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Look at that, it'll pop right out. Because there's no groove for the snap ring right there. I don't know why they did that, truthfully. I guess unless the snap ring could spin in the drum or something like that, I really don't know why they did that. But I guarantee you people have made mistakes and built these and put them in, the snap ring blow out. We have our clutches here. Seals. Always keep your snap rings with your clutch packs, especially on this unit here because they are multiple thicknesses. Same way with this snap ring here. This groove will be missing right there. But if you notice, it's in a different spot. See the groove's there, no groove there. So if you put that snap ring there, it's going to do the exact same thing as it did on the top one. See, it holds the snap ring out of the groove. You have to put the opening in this between here and here. But they moved the groove here, so on the top one you got to go around and find it. It's right there. See how they lowered it? It's not there. I don't understand if they're playing games with the builders or what they're doing here. It's kind of funny, but it'll get you in trouble if you're a first timer and you're trying to do it at home and stuff like that. So. Of course, we have our clutches here. I see more probably seal wear, bushing wear, stuff like that in this unit, pump wear, converter wear, just a lot of wear. Now, this drum here, you want to look around here. When we build it back, we'll still air check it all around this weld right here, this little tiny micro weld, to make sure we don't see any type of crack starting. So once we get it built back, we'll put fluid around here, stick it on our stator, air check it, and make sure there's no bubbling coming around here. So same with pistons in here. You want to take all this apart. Scotch-Brite, any area your new bonded piston's going to run at, clean that up, and also check these pistons for cracks. Now when I air checked that drum earlier in the video, you notice the pistons stayed up tight, they wouldn't fall back down. So that pretty much tells me there's no crack in this drum right here. I don't have to worry about it. But the way I am, and we don't want no comebacks, we don't have to pull it back out, we're going to check that drum for cracks anyway. So. And we have our Planetary here. And we have our 6-pinion being at the 6L90 tranny. 6L80 will have less gears. Check them for any type of wear, pitting, pin discoloration, thing like that. The sun gear will go in any direction, doesn't matter. But you want to look here for any type of wear on this sun gear though, on both sides. Okay. So we have a plastic washer and a bearing down in here that sets down in here. The gear sets on, and then our washer sets in our Planet like that and sets back down in here. Sun gear like that, bearing on the bottom. Now we have our 4, 5, 6 clutch right here. We have our sealing rings here. See them there? We have our feed holes, our lube holes. And then the same way, you could take this over here. Let me see, I'm not sure if this won't set on there, darn it. Okay, I was going to air check it, but you can set in here and blow through these holes. See, watch that clutch. See that? That tells me when I hit my air blower and it stays applied with my finger over the hole, then that seal is really good. It's still applied. Look at that. Now watch them let it go. See? Now what we'll do is we'll put our gauge back on this, set it here, we'll air check it, see how much it moves on the needle, and then we'll tell us our clearance right there. So. And we have our 4, 5, 6 clutch. Starting to see quite a bit of wear on the clutch. More towards the bottom of the pile where the wave's at though. Wear on our steels too. So keep your snap ring with that one. But this is the only one like that, so that's pretty simple. And then of course we're going to pull our shells out one at a time here. Very seldom anything can go wrong here. You just want to check where your bushing runs. Check this little bearing out right here. Make sure it's in good shape. It does go in one direction. You can't put it down like that. It goes in just like that. So you got to be careful when it's on that type of stuff. And of course, our shells, nothing, ain't no bushings in this one. You just want to look where your bushings do run. If they look good, Scotch-Brite them up, make them look nice and pretty with some Scotch-Brite. And then we got our shell here, same way. Now this one will have bushings in it on this end and this end. They are two different style bushings. This is what I call my golf ball bushing. It's got all the little dimples in it like a golf ball. Now you notice these bushings are set deeper than the surface. Our bushing drivers put them in that way. They have to be that way because see that bearing depth right there? It goes down in there like that. If you put it flush, then the bushing is going to touch that. So same way with this bushing here. It's not flush, it's set down inside here. So you can see here where the bushings do run on the outer side. You want to Scotch-Brite that up really good. Still looks really nice, just shiny. Get that shiny off there with some nice Scotch-Brite. And then we're going to get our snap ring out of here. Every time I try to get this thing, it seems like it gets stronger and stronger. These snap rings do. There we go, guys. I don't know if you could make a tool at home to get that out of there without buying these, because I mean I'm really putting some stuff on this to get these that snap ring out of there, and to not break these off, I mean there's a lot of force on them right there. But anyway, we got our beveled snap ring. It's flat on this side, bevel on this side, just like your 400s transmissions are on your support there. Now we have our 2/6 clutch here. You know, the same way you can put your tester on this. So I don't know if this will hook to my stain. If this will, Not really that, but you can take this like that. I can set that to 0. I'm going to have to clean all my tools up now and get done showing you guys. But this is our 2/6 clutch here. I'm going to find the circuit. Lube. There it is right there. Okay, we're a little, you know, it's just almost 0, but I'm going to touch it and see what it does. We've got about almost 86 thousandths clearance in that clutch plate right there against the wave. See? So, take it, grab it with your hand, not use air, pick it up. See, you only lose so much. But this is probably your true setting right here without air, your true clearance. So, I have to clean my tools up there now. But that, you get an idea of what that's like, what we have to check. Now this is our 2/6 clutch here. Now there isn't no funny snap ring groove area in this snap ring area. You don't have to worry about that. You got to look at your clutch though, your steels. Starting to get some hot spots here. Just a lot of miles on this thing. Keep your snap ring with these clutches. Flip it over. You're going to get to your low reverse clutch. Here's our low reverse clutch, wave and snap ring and clutches. You know, it's crazy. You can get a brand new clutch and you can soak it in fluid. It almost looks just like that. This one does have some wear on it and stuff, but it's weird how those clutches turn when you dip them in fluid. Now this is a brand new clutch right here. And we'll just kind of dip it real quick. You can see it soaking up fluid. You can see the air bubbles coming out of it. Stuff like that. And actually, if I let this clutch sit there, it'll probably totally dry up. And then we'll have to re-soak it because all them air bubbles that's coming out is soaking the fluid up. But you can kind of see how it made that clutch look.
That one's still darker.
Yeah. These are still darker, but I mean, you're going, dang.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to convince a customer. You tell them, look, hey, that's a brand new clutch. Well, that don't look brand new, but well, it is. Kind of gives you an idea. So, to keep your snap rings with that clutch pack too. And then we have our massive Planetary assembly here. That splash you?
Stinks.
Oh, I know it does.
No, it stinks.
I know it does. Here, I'll get some of that out of here. There you go. Now we have a case bearing that sets in the bottom of the case. Now you got to watch, these bearings will set down in there both directions, but they only go one way. You can see how it's a rounded end would go down in there like that. That way this turned and this doesn't. If you turn it this way, this is going to turn and cut the case. See, so you'd set it in there like that. Of course, we have this bearing here that sets down in here. And you can tell it only goes one way. It's got a lip on it. It's set down in there. That way it's stationary. Pretty simple. Then we have our snap ring here. Nothing strange about it. Sides are both the same. Now on our Planetary ring gear right here, it is different on both sides. This side here has got a lip on it. This side here is flat. So you need to make sure you put your flat down in there like that. Okay. And look at your Planetary really good. We don't very seldom see wear here, guys. These things are so massive. They're really, really heavy duty. We just don't ever really see it. I mean, We haven't had to replace one yet, so we've been lucky probably. So. Now, we have really noticed though, down in this drum right here, this is a metal collecting full right here. If I can get that out of there. This ring gear right here, when we take, especially when they're really trash with metal, you got a spacer that comes out first. The spacer, no different direction, going either way. But this ring gear will go in one way only, okay? It's flat coming out on this side and beveled on this side. The bevel goes in. But when you get down in here, look at the metal that's in here. I mean, all this metal, you can see it. When they're really tore up, converter failure, it's just caked in here. So if you don't clean this out, all that metal is going to go right back into your tranny. Because there's so much fluid that gets in here because this planet's so big, they really have to flood it with oil to keep it so it'll survive. So there you go, guys. 6L90. Quite a bit to them. I mean, the bushings got to be set like this. I mean, there's just a lot to these that you can mess up, but you can do them at home with not a problem. Just the main thing is bushing drivers. If you're going to do it at home, you got to have a bushing driver set. If not, you'll damage the bushing so bad you'll never get it back together. So guys, don't forget to subscribe. We appreciate you watching. Teresa, again, thank you for videoing. And Annie, she's guarding the door, guys. Guarding the door. Hey, it's Friday, guys. Y'all have a wonderful weekend, because we are. Have a great day.